How did a 17-year-old from Barbados make her first million before Umbrella even dropped? What if I told you that by the time most of us were stressing about prom dates and algebra homework, this global superstar was already on her way to becoming a millionaire? Yep, we're talking about Rihanna, and her journey to her first million at just 17 years old is more incredible than you might think. Welcome back to the Secret Story Vault. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a true icon. We all know Rihanna as the music mogul, the beauty queen, the fashion disruptor. How did a girl from Barbados with dreams as big as the ocean actually break through and make her first $1 million? And how old was she when she did it? Stick around, because we're breaking down the exact steps, the key decisions, and the sheer hustle that turned Robin Rihanna Fenty into a financial powerhouse at just 17 years old. Trust me, this isn't just a music story, it's a masterclass in ambition. So, let's rewind. Picture this: small island life in St. Michael, Barbados. Rihanna, born Robin Rihanna Fenty on February 20, 1988. She wasn't born into privilege. Her early life was marked by challenges, including her father's struggles with addiction, which deeply affected her family. But even then, a spark was there. From a very young age, music was her escape, her passion. She'd sing everywhere, in the shower, walking to school, even helping her mom sell clothes at a street stall. Can you imagine having that kind of natural talent, just bubbling up in such a seemingly ordinary setting? What is it about certain people that they just have to create? That drive seems almost innate, doesn't it? She formed a singing group with her friends when she was just 14. They were not aiming for global domination yet, they were just kids singing covers. But even then, they were performing at local events, honing their craft. It's that early, consistent practice that often separates the dreamers from the doers. Now here's where things get interesting. Talent alone doesn't always cut it. You need the right opportunity, the right person to see that potential. For Rihanna, that person was Evan Rogers, a music producer from New York. Rogers was visiting Barbados with his family in 2003 and happened to meet Rihanna through a mutual friend. She auditioned with her group in a hotel lobby. Legend has it, he was absolutely floored. The moment Rihanna started singing, the other two girls practically faded into the background. He saw something special, something raw and powerful. Imagine being a 15-year-old on a small island, getting that kind of validation from a real New York producer. Would you have dropped everything to chase it? Rogers invited her and her mom to come to the US to record professional demos. Rihanna made the trip, recorded tracks including an early version of Pon de Replay. And those demos started circulating to major labels. One landed at Def Jam Recordings, home of Jay-Z, who had just become president. In early 2005, at just 16 turning 17, Rihanna flew to New York for the big audition. She performed Pon de Replay and a Whitney Houston cover in front of Jay-Z and L.A. Reid. Jay-Z was so impressed, he reportedly told his team, "Don't let her leave the building without a deal." That day, she walked out with a 6-album contract. A Barbados teenager had just signed with one of the biggest labels in the game. The real hustle kicked into high gear. In May 2005, still 17 years old, Rihanna released her debut single, Pon de Replay. It exploded, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming a worldwide club anthem and selling millions in equivalents. Then in August 2005, her debut album, Music of the Sun, dropped. It debuted at number 10 on the Billboard 200 with 69,000 first-week sales in the US. And eventually went gold, over 500,000 units shipped in the US alone. Worldwide, it sold around 1.8 to 2 million copies. She was already performing, promoting, and touring. Here's what made the difference. She didn't wait years. Just months after signing, she had music out in the world. Speed and bold execution turned potential into paydays. So when did the first million actually arrive? Industry estimates and net worth timelines from that era show her wealth building rapidly throughout 2005. By the end of the year, while she was still 17 or just turning 18, Reports placed her net worth in the low millions, with some older sources noting around $1 to $3 million from the record deal advance, single and album royalties, promotions, and early performances. That momentum is where her first million was made, not from one giant check, but from hitting hard and fast with her unique Caribbean pop sound. By 2006, at 18, her second album, A Girl Like Me, dropped and performed even stronger. 115,000 first-week US sales, nearly double her debut, with hits like SOS, pushing worldwide sales to around 3.8 million. Her net worth estimates climbed higher. But the foundation, that first million at 17, came from the 2005 breakthrough and the courage to seize her moment young. Now, what can we actually apply from this story? Resilience starts early. Tough family situations didn't stop her. Music became her fuel. Talent needs the right connection. Evan Rogers spotted her, but she showed up and delivered. Act fast when opportunity knocks. She left home young, auditioned boldly, and released music quickly. Leverage what makes you unique. Her Barbados roots gave Pon de Replay that fresh sound that stood out. Financial awareness matters. Interestingly, despite the early millions, Rihanna faced a tough reality check in 2009. She reportedly started the year with about $11 million in cash, but ended with around $2 million due to overspending, tour losses, and poor management by her team. She later sued her accountants and won a settlement. The lesson? Making your first million is huge. Keeping and growing it requires smart systems and the right people around you. Rihanna turned it all around and built an even bigger empire with Fenty Beauty and more, proving the early hustle was just the beginning. From singing in the streets of Barbados to making her first million at 17, Rihanna's story shows that big dreams, consistent practice, and bold moves can change everything. You don't need perfect circumstances. You need the drive to create and the courage to seize your shot. If this fired you up, drop a like, comment below with which lesson hit you hardest or which celebrity we should cover next in the First Million series. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. Now go chase your own breakthrough.